All right.
So
So, do you want to dive into your philosophy on health?
sure, we can. And so I did do one thing. I got the YouTube piece set up
Okay.
and picture and all that. So at least that's set up on there for me to share too. But I got that far. But there was no videoing me. I was looking pretty rough for the last several days.
Okay. Well, you're looking fine today. So, we can definitely go with this and talk a little bit about your journey and what kind of impact it's had on your family's life.
Sure. Um, you're thinking like whole story, broad story details, kind of what
Let's
is
start at the
your
beginning. So, I mean, how were things before you came up with this product? What was life like for your kids and for yourself? And how long
sure.
ago was that?
So kind of our journey started when my kids were fairly young. My youngest was 3 months old. He is 16 now. But we were dealing with a lot of health issues. Every time we went to the doctor, it felt like it was another medication, it was another therapy, and we were frustrated. It was too much. And I thought there has to be something different than a life of medication and therapy.
Mhm.
So I was invited to learn about non-toxic cleaning products, and I thought, well, I'll go. I'm sure it won't help, and I'll go and do this as a favor. So I went and I learned about the products, and I was told that 100% money back guarantee. So I was like, sweet, I can buy them and then I can return them because then I support my friend and I get my money back. So when the products came in, I decided to go and try them. And we were, first of all, I was floored when they were very, very inexpensive. And then to have them actually work. So, two things I did not think was going to happen. But within that, we noticed within about 2 weeks, we were weaning my middle son off of eczema medication. With about 2 months, we were weaning him off asthma medication just from changing our laundry products and our cleaning products. And I was very shocked in that because we were already using what we thought was a good, safe option. They were free and clear. I didn't realize free and clear was just really free of fragrances and dyes, not necessarily irritating chemicals to that kiddo. Um, so it was one of those things where we're like, huh, maybe there's something to this. And then I started to dig into the nutrition side. I was raised very crunchy, healthy mom, and I knew that we needed supplementation. Like we just don't get enough from our food. So my kids were on vitamins, which through this whole learning process, we discovered my two oldest have very high levels of lead because of the vitamins we did give them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Vitamins. Wow.
Yep. So you're thinking you're doing good and you're putting good things in. And, I was I had ones that were, no sugar. Like I felt like I'd looked and found a clean one based on the label, not realizing so little regulation in the supplement industry. And once you dig in a little deeper, you kind of see what's swept under the rug and hidden behind that label. So I started interviewing supplement companies because I was like, well, if what I thought was good and gave them lead, I can't just give them what this company says is good. So I started interviewing companies, and a lot of the questions I'd ask had to do with purity and bioavailability and what was their outside proof. And most of them would say, we don't have to do that. We use USP standards. We don't have to do that extensive testing. That's too expensive. No one does that. Or when I'd ask for science, they'd refer to studies and I'd look them up and I dig into it. And a lot of times those studies were actually done on Shaklee products. So everything led me back to Shaklee. And we started my boys on Shaklee nutrition, and they started meeting goals that should have taken a month with their therapist in weeks. And I was like, maybe there's something to this. Just with changing vitamins. And like I said, we changed cleaning products, and that whole I'll go and buy products as a favor to a friend just changed our lives dramatically in ways of my kids' health. Like they weren't having to be on medications, we were decreasing therapies, they were thriving. And it was just a phenomenal experience to see that.
Wow, that's great. I mean, I don't think about cleaning products until they actually do cause rashes, and I have had in the past karate students that uh, have developed rashes or have some sort of allergic reaction to our cleaning products of the mats, and then we
Yeah.
have to change it because, I mean, most people it doesn't affect them, but the fact of
Hmm.
the matter is that you're still absorbing a lot of those chemicals, through your feet,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It's things you don't think about. You are literally breathing and absorbing your laundry products 24/7. And you think about kids, so the kids on the mats absorbing that, right? You think about too those that maybe it's their furry kids, right? those dogs and those cats are absorbing right through their pads on their feet and they're licking them and absorbing that way too. There's so many chemicals in our life that we don't think about because we buy them from the store, so it's safe. We don't think about what is that actually doing long term to our bodies.
Right. So now your kids are older. So what kind of uh what kind of what do you feed them? What kind of supplements are they taking? You know?
So so my good base for anyone, my family included, is multivitamin. You need to be on a good multivitamin just because of the nutrition content of our food. And let's be honest, I have teenage boys. They're not the best eaters. When they're home, they eat what I give them, but they're out and they drive and they do their own things. So you never quite know what that's going to be. So having that good base of a good multivitamin. Um, we also take omegas because again, good for brain health, good for inflammation, and probiotic. Those are kind of my base ones that are my non-negotiables with my kiddos. And sometimes we'll alternate some things if somebody's getting sick or maybe we need some more immune support. For me, as a older female, we have some hormonal support supplements that I personally take because that's where I need. But really, my kids have just been, they've been thriving. No one's on medications. Everyone's doing great. Um, even with their, I'm sure, not so healthy choices they make on their own when they're out and about.
Awesome. Now, I do have a question because considering all the chemicals that are out there and
Mm-hmm.
all the things that we ingest that are just laced with chemicals and even food products, that
Yeah.
are are made with not the best ingredients. What would you say to somebody that is trying to do like a detox, cleanse your body of all these things?
So if they're already, especially if they're already using non-toxic cleaning products, it, definitely we're looking at just what's coming in from the outside environment, what's coming in from their food versus having to look at the whole picture. So if they're already kind of doing some clean on their end, and they're like, you know what, I just really need to look at how do I detox just kind of daily. A good rule of thumb is, and this kind of follows more Eastern medicine, is when the time changes, right? You do a spring and a fall detox,
Mhm.
and that
Okay.
really is a good reset for your body. We have a great 7 day program that is super easy to follow. You can still go about your daily life. You're not home tied to your toilet. You are, but you're able to detox your organs and really give your body that rest time that you need. Now, if someone is not already using non toxic cleaning and laundry, that's usually my first step for people. Let's start here when it's super affordable, and you can usually start feeling pretty good just from that. And then we'll move into the nutrition side of things if need be. But really looking at for sure twice a year doing a detox is great. I encourage once a quarter, but that's not always doable for people. Some people are like, nope, I can handle twice a year. Like that's it. So really looking at those time changes based on Eastern medicine is a really good time period to look at doing it.
Okay. Now, does Shackley have detox products?
We do. We have some singular kind of one off ones, and then we have a 7 day cleanse. And so that gives you all your supplements that you need for the 7 days to really help your body reset and recharge. And then along with that, you get kind of an eating program of, what are some good fruits and veggies to eat during this time? Let's get that flowing through you because you're really doing no animal meats during that. You're giving your organs time to rest and clear.
Okay. Now, something that maybe a little bit off topic, but still related, is the things that we eat our food on, like plastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard a lot about, the microplastic things that we ingest and all those things. Do you have any recommendations on, where should you put
Yeah.
your food? I mean, microwave plastic with your food and things like that.
Yeah. Um, if you can avoid it, don't microwave. Use a toaster oven. Use your burners in a pan. I mean, you can kind of raise something up in a pan and steam it if you're wanting to do it that way. But I also know this is a fast world, so if you're going to microwave, please put it on in glass or on a porcelain plate versus plastic. Don't If you're going to microwave, don't ever use the plastic for that. In our house, we do have some plastic containers because feasibly, when my kids are out camping or four wheeling, glass containers aren't usually the best option for that. So we do have plastic, but we try and limit the use of that. We've started getting some more stainless steel containers that you can do things in. That's another great option. Um, as far as kind of trying to remove that plastic from your life, the less you're using it, the better.
Now we're talking about your back, and I mean,
Yeah.
as somebody that has been that has been doing sports my whole life. We our joints suffer, back issues, neck issues, martial arts, you're like you're twisting and choking, and what kind of joint support does Shaklee provide?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great joint health complex that does definitely help and has actually shown you to help you regrow cartilage where it's kind of disappeared, which is phenomenal because not many products will do that. Some just provide that relief to it. Um, we have a pain relief complex, so it's natural pain relief versus putting, NSAIDs into your body and damaging your liver further. This is just a natural one that helps with that. But collagen is key. Our collagen starts to deplete in our 20s and it just ramps up faster and faster as we go. So if you can support your collagen base either by adding in collagen or taking a product that helps support your collagen that your body's already making and helps to ramp that back up. If you do both together, that's even better. But one or the other. Looking at that, I would say if you're looking at a collagen product that you're adding in, making sure it has all 9 essential amino acids so your body can actually utilize all of the collagen in that product versus just a portion of it is huge.
That's awesome. Now you had also mentioned support for women. As women get older, I had one of somebody that I know that she was going through some therapy for menopause, and it
Yeah.
almost killed her. She was in the hospital for
Yeah.
a couple of weeks, and it was a very scary time because this procedure or some I don't know what it was, but it's some sort of therapy for your
Mm-hmm.
hormone. It almost took her out, So,
Oh,
like I rather deal with the hot flashes and everything else than with this thing trying to kill me, So what are the alternatives?
yeah. So there are different herbs that you can take that help support the perimenopause menopause state. I work with a bunch of teen girls in that realm of you're balancing hormones, right? But then as we're getting into perimenopause, menopause, that's a whole new world for women. So
Mhm.
looking at it and going, what herbs kind of help support that? And we do have some great products. We don't deal anything with actual hormones or hormone replacement. Only in nutrition and herbs is all that we'll do within Shackley. And I will say that people that I've known that have been in Shackley forever, they've sailed through menopause. No hot flashes, nothing, because they're giving their body the nutrients it needs to be successful. Our bodies are amazing and can do so much as far as healing and support and growth when we're giving our body the nutrients and the food that it needs to do what it needs to do. But so much in our life, right? Our meat has extra antibiotics and hormones in it. And you look at what they've done to milk and dairy products and food in general. We're not getting the nutrient support. We're getting extra hormones. We have endocrine disruptors, so many different things that we're bombarded at. But if we can remove that and kind of rebalance, our bodies do so much better on its own. We're designed to do great things without the medical intervention. Sometimes it's needed, but if we can give our bodies what it needs, the growth is that we can do is phenomenal.
Well, awesome. Now, just to finish off, we talked last week, we talked about me having all my vitamins and looking like a 80-year-old with a box
Yeah,
of
yep, yep.
pills, like pill for this, pill for that, pill for that. And it's not medicine, but just supplements and things, so it can
Mm-hmm.
become overwhelming. So what would your advice be to somebody that feels overwhelmed with, I need my cartilage support, I need detox, I need, all these other things. What do we do?
I like to start simple. A multivitamin and clean protein, that's usually my base for someone. Protein supplements in general can be so contaminated. I think I mentioned this to you when we talked last time. We test down to parts per billion. There is no heavy metals, no contaminants in our protein. So feel very confident in recommending it to people. But making sure that you are getting a good base of protein in. Of course, the older we are, the more protein our protein needs go up. And having that multivitamin is a good base. If someone's feeling really overwhelmed, we start there. And if they're like, I really do still need some joint support, okay, well, let's look at this. Do we need to look at a joint health complex and look at rebuilding that cartilage? Or are we needing to do some collagen support? Um, and then sometimes people are like, I don't know, I just don't feel there. Maybe it's just omegas and we need to look at inflammation. But I like to take 30-day chunks. So we're going to start day one with the multivitamins and clean protein, and we're going to go 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, how are you feeling? What are you noticing? Do we need to adjust? Do we need to add something? Because sometimes people are taking so many things, they don't know what's helping and what's not. So cut back to basics, start at the beginning, and go from there. Now, if I'm working with someone that's like, I really don't eat well, I supplement now and then, I've been on a lot of medications, I've had to do X, Y, and Z. okay, let's maybe start with a 7 day detox and then let's add some nutrition in. Because if your body is so bombarded with everything, you're not going to absorb the nutrition from that multivitamin very well until we've helped your body reset and clean. So if we can reset and clean at 7 days, 7 days is doable. We can totally manage 7 days and then move into that multivitamin protein and go from there is huge.
That's awesome. So we'll have links to all the products that you're mentioning here. So
Sure.
you can, order some of them. You can just click on it. Also, if they want to book an appointment with you, do you have a link where they can go ahead and book a one-on-one with you?
I prefer to work directly with someone, so they can either email me, my link on there for my email, or call or text me. I'm pretty available as far as reaching out to me, and then we can work through my schedule, their schedule, and go about it that way.
Okay, so it would be okay if we post your email and your phone number on the video.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. We close, anything that you'd like to share with us?
I think for people that are looking at this journey and going, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I know I need to do something. My word of advice would be talk to me. It costs you nothing to talk with me. Let's figure out a plan. And the biggest key is don't default to Amazon or kind of your big box store because you don't really know, like what I said, you don't know what's behind that label. It might look really good. And until you really dig in and do it, like I was doing some protein comparisons for a friend last week of something, and it looks like a fantastic product. And then you dig in there, and guess what? There's naturally occurring lead, so they have lead in their product, but they don't have to disclose that because it's considered naturally occurring and it's below that threshold for USP. So just be careful, be wise. I'm happy to compare products. I'm happy to talk. Um, no pressure. I mean, we've talked before. I'm not trying to get you to buy stuff, but it's a it's a discovery call. Let's figure out where you're at. What's best for you.
Yeah, I think it is important that, we take I mean, as we were talking earlier, your health is very important and you sometimes don't appreciate it until it's gone, and then sometimes it's too late.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I think, especially, I mean, for young people that are especially athletes, and
Hmm.
as we get older too, we definitely need to take care of our bodies and what we put into them because this is the only body we're gonna have, right?
Right. I think it's surprising. We still think we're in our heads, we are still 20 years old and we can do all the things. And then our body's like, wait. We need a little rest. We need a little extra. Like let's remember truly where your age of your body is. But I think definitely, through supplementation, through diet, what diet food wise, not like on a diet, and in body movement, whatever we can do in those realms definitely helps that aging process. Whether you're looking at it from a joint support, hormonal support, just well being is key.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time. It's been great. I love talking with you and getting your
Yeah,
take on nutrition, and maybe we'll do this again.
yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.